back to another video. And in this video, I'm gonna be breaking down this like dark synth sample. This turned out super crazy. Something for like Travis Scott, like some synthy vibes. And I actually ended up putting drums on this too, and I think it turned out super crazy. And yeah, I wanna waste no time. Let's hop right into the sample breakdown. So we're starting this one off at 142 BPM, and first thing I'm grabbing are these two phrases from VM's new pack. It's the Fantasia Volume 1 pack right here, and I went into the Haunted bank, and I grabbed these phrases, bunch of phrases in here, and I grabbed this called Map, and this one called Repeat, and I think these sound super crazy together, and they sound like this. Phrases really give me a good starting point because I can use them as starters pretty much. And yeah, so I got this idea down and it made me instantly inspired. I went into the Haunted kit again and went to the Accents folder, and I grabbed this atmospheric viola type of sound, and it sounds like this. Super atmospheric. I believe there's no effects. Yep, no effects on this as well. And yeah, so those three things built the kind of starting foundation. And then on top of that, I just added a few extra elements. Next thing I added was this bell. And I actually went to the Nova part, and I went to one shot, bells, and grabbed a C note, then dark notes. And it sounds like this. So basically for the chord progression here, it's literally just a C minor chord, and I pitched the middle note down an octave and offset it a little bit. Yeah, so it's literally one chord. That's all you need for these types of samples. You only need one, maybe two chords. You want to keep it repetitive, but then you want to introduce really cool like sounding elements. So that's where like, you know, VM's kit comes in. There's a lot of really cool like sound design work, really cool sounds in here. You want to stack those up to fill out the sample, and you really only need like one chord and minimal note. Next thing we're adding is this broken synth called Text. And I went into, of course, the broken kit, went to one shot, went to synths, grabbed the text synth, and it sounds like this. Add some like low end texture in there, and again, this is just playing the C note and it's filling out those frequencies. And then went into the Nova bank again. I grabbed this bass called Reese. It's like a Reese bass kind of element to it, but it's completely unique. And all I did, again, is just playing the C note over and over again. And to add a little bit more bounce, kind of chopped out these notes right here just so it's a little bit more bouncy. And I added the slide note because obviously we're using one shots. And definitely utilize slide notes when you're using one shots. And yeah, so I got this sliding up to the D here. I thought it sounded really good at the end of the pattern. And then the last thing for this first section, and it really kind of ties it all together, is I went to Nova again, grabbed this stellar bell, and obviously got this crazy like arpeggiation here. But really, I'm gonna show you guys the ultimate sauce on making arpeggios. And all you gotta do is make your chords. So I'm pretty sure all I did was do a C minor chord like that. And then I think I stacked it up an octave with this top note. And you know, just play this out like this, and then you want to hit Alt A, and it's gonna automatically put it in like arpeggio. And you can modify all these knobs here, modify the gate, the time, all this stuff here, and you can create your arpeggiations, your own arpeggiations without really having to click in everything. And I pretty much just made this, and it sounds like this. Obviously, it sounds kind of crazy, right? Almost like not really usable, but I heard it with the sample and I thought this could really work. So I rendered this out, Control-Alt-A on that, and I brought it into the playlist here. I pitched it down an octave and added reverse on. Then additionally went to halftime, added this preset right here just with these settings, and cut out a lot of the lows, and I chopped it up a little bit just to add some more silence, and it sounds like this. And yeah, in context with the full like first part of the sample, this is what it sounds like. Yeah, super crazy. That arpeggiation is crazy, and the sound itself. And I grabbed this like more textured one shot. And I think this adds a really cool element when you use like some textured one shot, and you're gonna be able to create some really cool like arpeggiations because it's not just like a regular note, you know what I'm saying? It adds a little bit of texture with the actual arpeggiation. Yeah, super crazy. I like to add like bells, pluck, stuff like that, but you can experiment as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the first section of the beat. And then we kind of have a switch up section. And actually the first section of the beat has a sound shifter on. As you can see, I'm automating the sound shifter, and I routed the whole entire melody to a melody bus. It's at its normal pitch, and then I transposed it down 2 and then automated that. So the first section is at its normal pitch, and then the rest of the sample, rest of the beat is pitched down by 2. And I also added a bit of silence with automation on the master here, just so it can drop and transition into this really cool like drum section and switch up section. So again, that's like the first section of the sample. The second section now is a lot of the same elements. I'm adding the same like bell, one phrase, a couple of other elements over. The only thing I'm doing in terms of MIDI that is different is I'm going to the broken bell bank again, and I'm grabbing this catchy broken bell, and it sounds like this. It's just playing at the end of the pattern, and it's super fire, super textured. And again, a lot of the sample is sound selection. So if you're liking these sounds so far, you got to check out this kit. It's Fantasia Volume 1 by VM, brand new kit, and it's very unique. It has a bunch of these different folders, and these folders will achieve different things. For this kit, I feel like you're gonna crave some really cool like textured R&B stuff, or dark stuff, atmospheric type of samples. So that's the first kit. Like these phrases are crazy. I also have a couple of my sounds in this kit as well. Like VM's kits have the craziest phrases, and that's why I love to start with phrases with his kits. Crazy. He actually got some samples in here too. And I believe this is over like 4 or 5 gigabytes of sounds in here. All these kits have different vibes in them, but I like to combine them all together like I did with this sample and create a whole totally really cool vibe. Like the Haunted kit, for example, is gonna be more darker types of vibes. The Nova kit's more like that futuristic, like spacey type of vibe. And you're also gonna get some PDFs that have a lot of your favorite producers giving their favorite tips and stuff, like Max Shooter, guys like that. Super crazy. And also a bunch of drums in here, which we'll get into the drums in a little bit. Yeah, so it's really a one-stop shop type of kit. You're gonna have all different types of vibes with all these different kits. And you're also gonna get some bonus sauce from the PDFs and stuff like that. And if you like these sounds and you wanna check this out for yourself, definitely go click the link down below. And you can use code EV30 at checkout and you're gonna get 30% off. Definitely worth getting. You're gonna be stacked up on sounds for a very long time, and it helped me really stay inspired with making these types of samples. And yeah, I really love this kit. I've been using it for a little bit now, and some of my sounds are in there. So if you like my sound design work, you can go check that out as well. And yeah, that's it for that. Let's hop right back into the sample breakdown. And then again, we're adding another arpeggio in here. And if I can find it, it's just this, the same exact technique I used before. But I was watching a Vagos video, and he kind of talked about arpeggios in there. A really unique thing that he did in that reel that he posted was he automated the gate here. Basically how he did that was he opened up an Edison and kind of had it play out, and then automated the gate while it's playing. And you can create some really cool sounding stuff with that. And I grabbed that from Edison. I added a sound shifter on top to pitch it up by 12. I also pitched down the sample by 12, played with the dry wet, so it's a little bit of that high frequency peeking through. And he added a micro shift on, which is exactly what he did. And I got these settings right here. And then I automated the halftime, kind of like he did in that same video, same kind of vibe. And I automated it so it starts the halftime at the end of the pattern. And this is what the final arpeggio sounds like. I hope that makes sense, but you can go check out that video. I'll probably have it linked down below too from the Vagos reel, and it was super helpful and really unlocked some new creativity when it comes to arpeggios. And the sound we're actually using for this is the OB lead from Nova. Pretty much from there, it was basically done. The last thing that I added though, and I went to the art kit and I grabbed this bell here, played out this like arpeggiated pattern. Again, very atmospheric type of sound. And immediately when I played this out, I added a halftime, heard it, and I was like, all right, I gotta reverse this sound now. So I went in, rendered that out, and I just reversed it. So it's gonna start swelling up now, and it sounds super fire. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the actual sample. And then immediately I was like, all right, I gotta add drums on this. This sounded crazy. Let me add drums on. And the drums are super simple. And I made a whole drum bounce type of video, so I'm not gonna get too into the nitty gritty of the drum bounce. Found a lot of these sounds in the Nova kit, and then I also went to the Haunted kit and grabbed some sounds from there too. There's a lot of drums in here, a lot of unique sounding drums too. And the first thing I started with is the 808, and it's just playing a pattern like this. Is the Devent 808, and it just sounds like this. And then I went back in the Nova kit and I grabbed the second 808 here. But what I'm doing with this is you can copy down these settings or do a variation of these settings. I reversed it, play with the start offset, and play with the end knob. And I just wanted it to reverse up at the end of the pattern. And with those two 808s together, that's what it, and with the two 808s together, this is what it sounds like. And then I layered a kick on top. It's just this go-to tricks kit from the Haunted kit. And to add more bounce to it, I added these like ghost notes. And pretty much how I did that was I went to the envelope and put it like this, just like your 808, shoring them so they cut off. And I also put the velocity down a little bit and I add some like ghost notes in there. And it adds a lot more bounce to the actual drum bounce. And I just added a basic snare, hitting the normal patterns, and a basic like counter snare. And I really wanted to play with the drum bounce a lot. So I was like, all right, when I add a hi-hat in, I want to add some effect tricks on it. And basically just a 2-step hi-hat, and I chopped out some notes that I didn't want to play, just so it sounds a little bit more bouncy. This is the effect tricks. You can copy this down if you want, but I really love to play around with the effect tricks just to make some really cool sounding stuff. Fire, and this is what the entire drum pattern sounds like all together. And yeah, with that, this is like pretty much done. Just repeating a lot of stuff over. Pretty much it for the master. It's really simple, just like my basic chain. You can copy these settings down. And of course, gotta end it off with a soft clipper. And yeah, with that, this is what the final beat and sample sounds like. Yeah, I don't know about you, but that's crazy and super bouncy. And I had a lot of fun making the sample. And if you want to check this one out, click the link down below. Use my code EV30. You're going to get 30% off. It's going to be super cheap for how much sounds you're getting. I don't know if there's a better deal out there. And also, if you use my code, it's going to support the channel as well. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think this one turned out super crazy. Yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I catch you on the next one.